Good evening class. In previous video we have started a new chapter and that is hereditary and evolution, and that is your new chapter of class 10. Okay, in last video we have discussed so many points regarding the Mendel's experiment. Okay, from starting video we have discussed what is genetics, what is variations and what is hereditary. Okay, after completing all the definitions very clearly, we have discussed so many points regarding the Mendel's experiment and which types of theory he has given according to the monohybrid, dihybrid, cross. Okay, but in last video we have discussed only four characters like traits, characters, alleles we have discussed. Now today we are going to discuss some more properties of Mendel experiment. Okay, now the first one is that dominant and recessive. We are taking both in a shape. Okay, dominant means here dominant is a special type of characters and they can able to express their character in any situation and they are called as dominant. Dominant मतलब होता है कि ये हमेशा अपने आप को किसी भी situations में अपने characters को show कर सकते हैं, that is called dominants. And recessive are generally suppressed by the dominant characters. और recessive ऐसे characters होते हैं generally जो suppress हो जाते हैं, दब जाते हैं due to the hybrid characters of dominant. Suppose we are taking an examples of capital T. Capital T is always greater, and we are taking an example of small t. Okay, here there is too much difference between these types of characters. Here we have taken capital T and here we have taken small t, and they both are the different compositions. अलग अलग compositions है. It means that if we are going to cross between different types of, generally we got that the capital T and one small t. Here the small t is the dominant character and capital T is the dominant character and recessive is capital T. Why? Because dominant always shows its expression in any situation. It means T is superior than small t and small t is inferior than capital T. Okay, this is the dominant trait and here capital T is the dominant and recessive is small t. Okay, due to the hybrid natures, small t is always small and capital T is always capital. Okay, these are the exact clarification of dominant and recessive. ठीक है, जो dominant characters होते हैं वो किसी भी situation में अपने characters को express करते हैं, लेकिन recessive characters always suppressed by the dominant. ये क्या करते हैं, वो दब जाते हैं आफ्टर सप्रेसिंग द डोमिनेंस. ठीक है, डोमिनेंस के नीचे जैसे यहाँ पे स्मॉल टी है वो कम है और कैपिटल टी जो है वो अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस कर रहा है इन अ कैपिटल वे. ठीक है, लार्ज नंबर. नाउ नेक्स्ट, कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, we are going to discuss that. Next is genotype and phenotype. What is the meaning of genotype and phenotype? Okay, here genotype means it is the generally genetic makeup. Genetic makeup means the inside the cells of genetic issues which show the different types of natures are called genotype. Okay, suppose here I have mentioned two different types of round colors. Okay, here it is R1 and it is smaller. It is RR and it is smaller. Both are different composition and different characters. Okay, but here genotypes means the inside characters regarding to DNA and genes, that is called genotype. And phenotype means they are looking as capital R and small r, that is called the phenotype. Phenotype means the outer nature of the any group of colors are called phenotype, and genotype means this is the genetic makeup which is found inside the character, that is called genotype. ठीक है, genotype का मतलब होता है जो DNA makeup होते हैं अंदर के, that is called they express their own character from their inside body are called genotype, and phenotypes means they express their characters from outside the body is called phenotype. ठीक है, जो बाहर से express करते हैं that is called phenotype, जो अंदर से express करते हैं that is called genotypes. Okay, so after completing, now next we are going to discuss some more important characters of dihybrid and monohybrid. Okay, both the words are different in nature. Why? Because here when we start to study a biology, we have to study in a different way to get understand all the things in a proper way. The first one is that monohybrid. What is the meaning of mono? Mono means single, one. Okay, mono means single and hybrid means it is a not a word related to hybrid means most developed part. Hybrid means here hybrid is a term generally used to define characters. जब एक characters के बीच में cross होगा, that is called monohybrid cross. And when die means दो, ठीक है, die means two. When two types of different characters are involved to get breeding are called dihybrid cross. Okay, here di means two and hybrid means Mendel's experiment shows hybrid means characters, not hybridizations. ठीक है, development part नहीं, hybrid means characters, hybrid means here same the characters, mono means single, hybrid means characters. Here di means two and hybrid means characters. जब दो characters के बीच में breeding होगी that is called dihybrid cross. जब एक characters को लेके हम cross करेंगे that is called monohybrid cross. Okay, now after completing we have to discuss most important part of that. What is the meaning of homozygous and heterozygous? Now completing the meaning of homozygous and heterozygous, when the same type of compositions are expressed are called homozygous, and when different types of characters are subsequent are generally placed, which may be one capital R and one small r, that is called heterozygous. So let's take example of homozygous. Suppose I am writing here capital R and capital R, small r, ठीक है, capital T, small t, and here capital T. Okay, here capital R, small r, and there capital T and small t, but compositions are same. It is not in a different way. अगर ये सेम है तो ये भी सेम है, ये सेम है तो ये भी सेम है, but they are all are different traits. ठीक है, अलग अलग कैरेक्टर्स हैं. That is called homozygous. So what is the difference between heterozygous? तो फिर heterozygous क्या होगा? Here heterozygous means when you are using capital R, that time you have to use only small r. That is called the heterozygous. Heterozygous means one composition is different and one composition is also different. एक composition अलग होगा और दूसरा compositions भी अलग होंगे. That is called heterozygous. Heterozygous means एक capital R होगा तो दूसरा small r, एक capital T होगी तो एक आपका small t. ठीक है, अगर एक आपका कैपिटल Y होगा तो एक स्मॉल y होगा. ठीक है, ये सारे चीज जो कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं जनरली इट शोज द हेटेरोजाइगस मोड. हेटेरो मींस इफ वन कैरेक्टर इज कैपिटल देन अदर कैरेक्टर इज स्मॉल. इन होमोजाइगस इफ वन कैरेक्टर इज small t, second character is also small t, and if one character is small r, second character is also small r. Okay, this is called the homozygous. There is too much difference between homozygous and heterozygous. Okay, so completing all these things, now we have to study that what is the meaning of progeny. Okay, so in biology we have to study the reproduction, and what is the meaning of the reproduction means when the reproduction is done by two types of parents, after that their offspring will be produced and their daughter cells will be produced. This is same called as progeny. Okay, suppose here it is a male and it is a female. They secrete sperm and they secrete ovum. When they get combined to form zygote, and after zygote they go into the fertilization and they also reaches into the embryo development takes place inside the female body. After that they produce their offspring in a child, and child is called their progeny. Okay, so after the fusion of male and female gamete, sperm and ovum are get combined and they form zygote. After that fertilization takes place, it reaches into the female body, and when the child produce, that is called progeny. Okay, that is called progeny. Progeny is the daughter cells, our progeny is the child, our progeny is the developing offspring, are called progeny. हम progeny उसी को कहते हैं. Okay, so apart from that we have discussed the 13 points of Mendel experiment. After that we are going to discuss that the Mendel experiment has been done by looking the special types of 3 steps. Okay, what was the steps that Mendel experiment is generally done by using a proper 3 steps, and the first step is that selection of pure plant. Pure means what is the meaning of pure, because you all have, I think you all have doubt what is the meaning of pure plant. Selection of pure plant, that means plants producing similar traits in a every generation. इन्होंने जो भी generation में cross breeding करवाई या breeding करवाई, that is taken by the pure plants. Pure मतलब if they are capital T, it means they are also small. ठीक है, ये भी capital Y होगा. Next capital R, then capital R. They are called the pure plants. Why? Because they are also called a homozygous. Homozygous means if first composition is capital T, second composition is also capital T. Next capital Y, it is also capital Y. This is a small r, capital R, and this is also a capital R. It means the pure plants means the first experiment done by Mendel's by taking a pure plant means homozygous condition, not a heterozygous condition, because in homozygous condition they have taken the same type of compositions. If the compositions will be that type, it means they are called a contrasting character. We will discuss in that video also. Okay, so first point is that selection of pure plants, that mean plants producing similar traits in every generation. जो भी generation में हमने क्रॉस किया उसको हमने प्योर प्लांट्स मतलब होमोजाइगस कंपोजिशंस को लेकर, अगर ये कैपिटल टी है ये भी कैपिटल टी, इस कैपिटल वाई इट इज आल्सो कैपिटल आर, ठीक है, पूरे के पूरे कैरेक्टर सेम रहेंगे. इट इज नॉट टेकन बाय दिस मेथड. इन्होंने कैपिटल आर और स्मॉल आर लेकर इन्होंने नहीं किया. इट हैज डन इन अ F1 and F2 generation. Okay, we will discuss in later. But today, now we are going to discuss that productions of first generation of plants by crossbreeding. It means that they have done a special type of crossbreeding. Crossbreeding means they have done experiment by using different types of traits. Suppose they have done capital T and here small r, and they have done capital T, okay, and here one capital T and one small r, and that time this is called crossbreeding. Okay, crossbreeding means the Mendel's experiment given the exact definition about crossbreeding. Crossbreeding means this is the capital T means same composition, and that is the small t and small t same composition, but they both are different from each other. ये दोनों एक दूसरे से अलग है. Why? Because they both are different traits. ये अलग अलग traits हैं, and they start to mix with the mating, and that is called crossbreeding. इनको इससे इसके साथ क्रॉसिंग करवाए, that is called crossbreeding. इसी को हम crossbreeding कहते हैं. And Mendel का जो second experiment था that is done by this type of method, that is called crossbreeding. Okay, now next we are going to discuss that some more property of raising of second generation and subsequent generation by self fertilization. When they took place by first generation, after that the parent generation, the F1 generation comes, and in this case the Mendel experiments taken as by doing इनब्रीडिंग. इनब्रीडिंग मतलब सेम जनरेशन के साथ उन्होंने ब्रीडिंग करवाया, दैट इज कॉल्ड इनब्रीडिंग, एंड इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन, जिसको हम लोग सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन कहते हैं. टेक अ लुक ऑफ देयर. दिस इज capital T, small t. They have done experiment capital T, and this is called parent, and this is called F1 generation. In F1 generation, this is called crossbreeding. Okay, the parents, they both are doing mating, and that is called crossbreeding. In F1 generation, Mendel done the experiment of inbreeding. Okay, inbreeding means they have done the same type of different, and they have done the experiment capital T and capital T, next capital T, and here. Okay, so several types of cross he has done. If you will do, definitely it will become easy for you. You have to use these things in your notebook. Okay, why? Capital T and capital T here, capital T and small t is here, and capital T small t, and here capital T and capital T. So this is called the inbreeding, and these are called F2 generation. This is what is the meaning of F1 generation, and this is called the grandfather, that is called the father, and this is called you also. Okay, so we have understand by looking at that type of example. ये parents का था, grandparents, ठीक है, ये father के generation का था F1, and F2 generation जो हम लोग हैं उनकी बात करते हैं. यहाँ तक इन्होंने क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग करवाया, और यहाँ पे इन्होंने इन ब्रीडिंग किया, मतलब सेम टाइप के कंपोजिशंस ले गए. अगर ये कैपिटल है, ये कैपिटल, स्मॉल टी, यहाँ पे कैपिटल टी, और यहाँ पे स्मॉल टी को लेकर इन्होंने क्रॉस किया. दैट इज कॉल्ड क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग, and that is called inbreeding in F1 generation. After that we got the result of F2 generations. Okay, that is the most interesting thing. Next we are going to discuss that contrasting characters. What is the meaning of contrasting characters? Okay, here I think so contrasting characters means these characters which always appear in the two opposing conditions means these characters will always show the two opposing conditions. दो अलग अलग conditions हैं. Here capital T and here small t and small t. Two different types of opposing conditions are called contrasting characters. Contrasting मतलब just opposite. Suppose we are taking an example of contrasting characters. Here we have to understand by looking that type of process, and that is called, suppose we have taken here white, the next step we have to take as black. These are called, here we have to take a tall and next step we have to take a drop. Okay, so contrasting characters का मतलब if we had taken white, the next composition we should take a black. अगर एक तरफ हमने white लिया तो दूसरी तरफ हमें black लेना पड़ेगा, एक तरफ हमने tall लिया तो दूसरी तरफ हमें drop लेना है. So these are the contrasting characters of Mendel's and he has done in the Hereditary and Evolution. Okay, and I think this is enough for today class. And if you have any doubt regarding all this experiment and all these things, you can ask me, and I am giving one homework and you have to mention in your fair copy that how Mendel experiment done in 3 steps. First homework, how Mendel experiment done in 3 steps, and what is the meaning of homozygous and heterozygous. Write the difference between homozygous and heterozygous. Second homework, and third homework is that what is the meaning of dominant and recessive traits. Okay, till then whatever I have taught you all have to revise very carefully, and if you have any doubt you can contact me. Thank you, students.